What moves me? I guess there's a lot of things that would move me or that would touch me, but the first thing that would come to mind is acts of empathy. So acts of kindness that show care for other people, especially if it's for strangers or that kind of things. I remember that when I was a kid, if something would happen to me, I don't know, I would fall down or something, when people would come up to me asking me if I was okay, if everything was good, it would actually like move me and almost bring me to tears. Actually, I guess I was very sensitive, but it's something that still does in a way. Whenever I see someone actually really caring about someone else's well-being or something like that, that really moves me a lot, and because I don't know, because there's such a selfless act of kindness and empathy. I think there's something beautiful in it.
So what moves me? I think it's when people give their time to me, like they invest their time. I guess it's something I value a lot about my friends and family. So, for example, when I speak with my friends, I find that they often really listen, and I think that's like really respectful, first of all, and also I think that's why they know me so well, and it's really nice. For example, I could talk with my friend, and a month later they would bring up a topic that I'm like, oh, did we talk about it? Sometimes I even forget, because like I talk a lot of small talk, and I'm like, did I say that to you? Just like, yeah. And it's really nice, and yeah, it makes me feel so happy that they notice, and I think makes you also feel special when you discover that people care and respect, and yeah, that's all.
The things that are important to me, that moves me, there is a few. First, it's quite obvious to me, it's the music, it's the songs that can stuck in my mind for a long time. Sometimes they can bring the tears or some feelings. The second thing I would say is the poetry. I have my favorite artist, mainly Polish one, and I'm always like impressed how they combine like such a word, such a sentence, with using sometimes really simple words, but telling such beautiful stories and that I can identify. Also the books, like I really, when I'm reading books, I like to mark some like fragment sentence that for me seems to be very special, and it also moves me. And also, like already someone said, like the kindness of the people, especially like simple gesture when I give or like get presents who I know that someone made by himself. It's really nice to get something homemade. The same when I see on the street, if someone is nice to the dogs, homeless dogs, stray dogs, and with the people too, but I'm more into animals, to be honest.
What literally touches me inside is the bass, and I love that feeling. It's like a good vibration. But to be a bit more serious, what touches me inside is it's the language, it's the words, the stories, or actually maybe the human nature at its best. When we take the high road, when we are not like petty, when we make the decisions that are maybe not so good for us, but for the others. So I guess that what moves me is the mankind that is still surprising, although it's not so often disappointing.
Okay, cool. So I've been thinking a lot about this one. I was stuck in the beginning, but now I think I've actually realized what does move me and what touches me, like, in my heart. I always like to hear stories of, let's say, the underdog. You know, the person that defied the odds in life and made, like, something happen out of when no one, like, really believed, or when it seemed hopeless or something like that. They rose through out of the dust and into the sky and flew into glory. You know, and I was just thinking about, there was a football player by the name of Inky Johnson, and he was about to score a touchdown or something at one game, and then he fell and his arm was paralyzed for life, so he couldn't play NFL anymore, and that's all he knew. And then it actually turned him into like a motivational speaker, because he didn't know what else he was going to do with his life, and now he's like really successful as a motivational speaker, you know, and he thought that football was his only answer. But on a bit more closer to home level, it actually is a story of my mom, actually, funny enough. She was in a serious near fatal car accident when I was like 8 years old. And the doctors didn't think she was going to survive it, and she survived it. The doctor said, okay, she'll survive it, but she'll never be able to walk again. She was able to defy the odds, and she started walking. They said she would be able to walk, but she'd always walk with a funny walk. She defied those odds, and now she walks perfectly normal. And she told me it was because, you know, you should never stop at anything. Just, if you believe in something, go for it, and it's the only way. Okay.